Hello guys, I am back to show you a card that I made for Father's Day. I hope that I am louder and speaking a little bit more clear for you guys to hear me this time. I have gotten some people saying that I'm not still talking loud enough, but I'm trying. I made this card for my shop, and I wanted to show you guys how I did it. It's my own original template, so I know that you might want this template, but I'm not very computer savvy to make a PDF file in order to distribute them, but I am selling this card in my Etsy shop, and you can go buy this YouTube video and try to draw it yourself. I don't mind that, but I don't have the template, but I'm going to show you how I created it. And obviously you can have any sentiment inside, but this one's for Father's Day. Okay, let's get started. What you're going to need is at least one full sheet 8 by 11 cream cardstock. These are just scraps. I'm using yellow, but if your man in your life or whomever you're making this card for likes the darker beers, you can obviously make them into using brown cardstock instead of yellow. And then you need two or just one, whatever you have in. I use my scraps like I said before, but I have two white pieces of cardstock to make this, and you will need some ink. Now I'm using yellow to match the cream and accent the yellow beer, but obviously if you're going to use a brown cardstock for the beer, then I would probably accent it with brown on the edges here. Also, I am using brown. This is my favorite in terms of company color box chalk. I use this color a lot, the chestnut, and some sort of stamp. Oops, this one says Happy Father's Day. But obviously if you can make this card for any occasion and have something else set in it. And this one, this is for the beer drippings, the foam, and I don't know if the light will catch it, but it's right here that I have the glossy accents to make it look wet. Foam dots. For dimension, you're going to need a pair of scissors, an X-Acto knife or craft knife, a stylus of some sort, a mouse pad. Yes, that mouse pad is one in itself because my son made it, and I got it transferred into a mouse pad. Actually, I shouldn't probably be using it for crafting. And then I got, and then some kind of adhesive. I use my ATG gun. Alright. Okay, let's get started here. Okay, we'll start with the base. And this is my original template. This is for me. I hand drew it. And whenever I do hand draw something and use it as a template, I put the trace side, I write trace side, and it's actually, you will see that it's the opposite side. So like, if you were to trace it this way, this is how the card would fold. But I don't have trace side here because of the fact that I don't want I'm tracing it and I'm going to have pencil marks. So I use the opposite side. Now, some people are more talented and more crafty with the craft knife, and can actually probably not have to use a pencil and just cut along there, but I'm usually disturbed by my kids and it's always like a big emergency, so I don't like to leave my craft knife out unless I know for a fact that I'm going to just use it and put it right away. I don't like accidents like that. Alright, so we're going to put the trace here. We've got pretty much a straight edge here, so I'm going to line it up here. And then, whoops, I don't have a pencil. I had all my tools out, but not my pencil. Here we go. At least it's close by. Alright, so we'll do this. And I'm not sitting down because of the camera angle. So my tracing marks are going to be a little bit shaky. And it's okay because you can always go back and trim up the card. Whoopsie. And that's why, I mean, I don't trust, if I can't trace it with a pencil, I don't trust myself with an X-Acto knife either. So, and for the opening here, I trace it even also, so I don't have to make that circle again. Alright, so we'll put this aside. We've got the base, and then I sort of wish that I was computer savvy enough to have a PDF file, so I would have the image ready and print out, and then I could just cut along the lines in every single card that I decided to make if I made a batch of them, which sometimes I do for my shop. Not this card, because this one's a brand new one, but like some of my other designs I wish I sort of had, because I have to trace every one and cut them out, where I could, if I knew how to do it on a PDF file, I could just print out X amount of copies that I needed it to do. But, and if anyone's watching and has a big company and could sponsor me, I would love that too, but that's like a pipe dream, I guess. I don't pump out that many designs in order for that to happen either, so. And this is quite boring to watch me cut this, so on the rest of the video where I'm tracing and cutting, I will speed it up so you won't hear my voice, and you'll just see me cut really fast. Alright, next thing you want is the matching shadows. And now, I guess one of the reasons why I got into card making and scrapbooking is because you get to use all sorts of different mediums that you would typically use when you are an artist. some artists prefer a certain type of, and just strictly work with that certain type. But as an art student, when I went to college, I liked it all. So this was a craft that let me do all of it. Paint, inks, all that sort of stuff. And obviously my passion is paper. Okay, so you just saw me ink the edges of the mug. Now you can do the back side if you want, but really typically no one looks at the back. Man, I really like that word a lot. I've noticed that I've been saying it a lot. Alright, so we're going to do the inside now. And instead of the yellow, because it is a saying and you want it to pop out, I use this brown, my favorite. You can use black. Just make sure it's below the slip, but above enough so you can write a sentiment of some sort. And whenever I stamp, I like to put something cushy underneath because it gives a better disbursement. And there we go. For time's sake, I'm not going to clean my stamp right away, but that's my biggest thing, is to clean my stamps. So basically, we're pretty much done. What we need to do, though, is on the original, I don't know if you can catch that, but there's grooves, like a mug would have. And it's debossed, not embossed. In the way I got those was the other tool that you needed, and you needed the mouse pad for this reason, strictly. Now granted, you could have waited to put this unit on so you got all the lines up there, but I didn't. You follow the grooves, the valleys here, and you start from here and you go all the way up. And it doesn't matter if you're straight. I mean, you don't want to be zigzag or really wavy, but your line shouldn't be perfectly straight because it's supposed to represent glass. And if you really look at like a picture of glass, once something's in it, nothing is perfectly straight. So that's what I did there, to give it that groove. Now, besides, I was going to wait till the very last and I will show you how I made the extra detail with it looking wet, the drips. And you just go, I don't know, if you don't trace the whole thing. Everything has highlights, and especially like water or anything liquid or reflections, like even like eyeballs have, even hair, have a reflection to them that doesn't trace all around it. It catches the light in a certain area and then it bounces back off on the opposite side, just slightly. So you just make this little teeny dab on the other edge here. And it's just an artist's perspective, or even something you visually are in tune with, to see that that's how things look to our eyes. But if you're not like really in tune with that kind of stuff, you tend to maybe just trace the whole thing or color the whole thing, but in reality it's not like that. Now you could add extra accents like the dew that's coming down here. You could do a lot of other things, but I'm keeping this card fairly simple. Sure. Thanks for watching, guys.